Have you ever walked away from a conversation or a crowded room feeling drained, emotionally overwhelmed, or strangely heavy inside? Almost like you're now carrying feelings that you didn't walk in with? If you often feel other people's feelings without meaning to, you're not alone. Many sensitive, empathic people experience this, and it can be tricky to understand why it happens and what to do about it. This week inside Somatic Healing Hub, one of the members, Sylvia, asked a question that captures this so beautifully. She asked, "Recently, someone reminded me how easily we can carry other people's pain, not just in our minds, but in our bodies. I often put my own feelings aside to help someone else, and the combination of repressing my needs and prioritizing theirs can leave knots in my muscles for days. I know I have some codependent tendencies, but it's really hard to get a grip on them. I try to notice when it's happening, but even that feels challenging. I'd love to explore this more deeply through a somatic approach." So thank you for your question, Sylvia, because this is such an important and meaningful topic for those of us with sensitive nervous systems to explore. So, part of why we feel other people's feelings is because our bodies are exquisitely designed to feel with and for one another. Through mirror neurons, the vagus nerve, and through countless subtle cues in breath, tone, facial expression, and posture, our systems are constantly attuning to those around us. We're wired for resonance in ways that are incredibly deep and often unconscious. This resonance is what makes empathy and co-regulation possible, and it's one of the most beautiful things about being human. But when our early environments were unpredictable or emotionally overwhelming, our sensitive systems can learn to organize around the emotional states of others in a way that feels safer than feeling fully connected to ourselves. So instead of simply attuning to others, we start to merge. It's like we stretch our awareness outward and hold other people's feelings inside our own body in an attempt to keep the peace by managing not only our own feelings, but everyone else's too. And over time, our nervous system can become so skilled at tracking the outside world that it forgets how to feel at home inside itself. And this unconscious self protective strategy begins to wear us down. It can exhaust us, pull us away from our own needs, and lead to compassion fatigue or patterns of codependency. But again, this tendency makes so much sense because it comes from a part of us that learned long ago that safety and belonging required tuning into others more than tuning into ourselves. So, in this energetic boundary meditation for empaths, we'll explore all of this in a deeply body centered way. You'll be guided to come back to yourself and to create an energetic boundary in a way that feels supportive and protective, so you can stay connected while also staying with yourself. This meditation is something I teach inside Rooted and Resilient, which is my 6-month group coaching program. Rooted and Resilient is truly the best way to work with me if you want to heal at a deeper level and work with the old emotional material underneath the things you struggle with most. An enrollment is open now for a limited time. Inside Rooted and Resilient, we explore and process the old emotions and self-protective strategies that are at the roots of the frustrating patterns that unconsciously hold us back and keep us trapped in reactivity. Through somatic emotional processing, regulation, and profoundly compassionate teachings, you begin to release what's been held beneath the surface and step into a version of yourself that feels clearer, more grounded, and more at ease. You can find more information in the show notes. If you're feeling called to this kind of deeper body-centered work, I'd really encourage you to take a moment and check it out. Welcome to Somatic Healing Meditations. the podcast that helps you regulate your nervous system, deepen your healing journey, and feel better in your body. I'm Karenna with Hello Inner Light, and I'm so happy you're here. I'm a somatic healing coach who specializes in compassionate, body-centered processing that helps you heal the wounds that are holding you back. So if that's the kind of content you need more of in your life, please subscribe to this podcast and join me every Friday on this beautiful journey out of your head and into your more embodied and authentic self. Now, before the meditation, here's a quick word from the sponsors that make all this free content possible. Now, let's dive into this energetic boundary meditation for empaths. So just finding a time and a space where it's safe and comfortable for you to close your eyes and turn your attention within. And with your eyes closed, bring your awareness to your breath. So take a moment and notice that you can feel the air moving in and out through your nostrils. You can feel the rhythm of your breath causing your chest and tummy to rise and fall. And on your next inhale, imagine that you could breathe in through your heart and out through your belly button. Even imagining that you could feel the space or the distance between your heart and your belly button. Imagining on your next breath that you could breathe in through your heart and out through your shoulders on both sides. And again, imagining that you could feel the space or the distance between your heart and your shoulders. Imagining now that you could breathe in through your right ear and out through your left elbow. Feeling the space or the distance. Breathing in through your left ear and out through your right elbow. Feeling the space or the distance. And then imagining that you could breathe in through your knees and out through the soles of your feet. Again, feeling the space or the distance. And now just breathing in and out through your heart. With every breath, connecting more and more with your body. With every breath, connecting more and more with your inner world. And for this boundary meditation, we want to get a felt sense of where your boundaries want to be when you feel safe in relationship. So, your imagination is just going to call forward a virtual resource to be here with you. And a virtual resource is like a guide or an angel or a friend or an animal. It's really anyone or anything that is safe, loving, and powerful. So just notice who shows up for you. And notice what it feels like to have this virtual resource here with you. So it's pretty easy to feel the boundary of our physical bodies, right? You could give yourself a hug and feel the edges of your body. Our skin is a natural boundary between us and the world. But an energetic boundary is a little bit different. So we exist within our physical bodies, but there's also a bioelectrical field within and around us that we can't see, but it can be measured. And when they do measure it, it's usually about 3 to 6 feet away from our bodies. And so just begin to notice this bubble of energy or this personal space around you, this bioelectrical field. And you can maybe kind of feel or sense this, or maybe you're just using your imagination. But just begin to notice whatever you notice, and there's no way to do this wrong. So just notice if you can sense a bubble of energy or a field of energy around you. Notice how big this field or this bubble of energy around you is. And notice, are you in the center of it? Is it evenly spaced around you? How do you sense the edge of this bubble or this field? And so, with your intuition and your imagination, you're just going to go ahead and shift this bubble in any way that would feel good to you. So remember that your virtual resource is here with you for support. And just see what would feel good to you in this bubble. Would you like it to be bigger or smaller? And would you like it to be more centered or different in some way? You may want to fill this bubble with like a healing light or with your life force energy. So lots and lots of wisdom traditions over the ages have talked about a warm, golden healing light. So perhaps if it feels good to you, you could imagine a warm, golden healing light coming down from your highest self or source or God above you. Or perhaps you could imagine your bubble filling with healing light from Mother Earth, or from the trees and the air around you. Or maybe this light is generated from within, and it spreads out from within you. And so just noticing your bubble filling with this healing light. And I just suggested warm golden light because, again, so many spiritual traditions have talked about that, but you can make this your own. It could be any color, any quality, but just begin to really notice that you are in the middle of a bubble. And you and this bubble are filled with your energy. You are here, receiving and breathing. And you're just noticing what feels right. So if anything wants to be adjusted, perhaps your virtual resource or this healing light can adjust it or fill any holes or gaps in your energetic boundary. And just noticing what this feels like. Get a felt sense of what it feels like to be centered in this bubble that's full of your life force energy. And now begin to bring your awareness to the edge of this bubble, to the boundary of your bioelectrical field or of your personal space. And notice what you notice about the edge of your bubble, the boundary of your personal space. And I like to imagine this metaphor for my energetic boundary, so go ahead and play with it and see if it works for you. So in biology class, you may have learned about the cell membrane. Around every single cell in our bodies, we have a semi-permeable membrane. And this semi-permeable membrane is sort of a miracle, and life on Earth wouldn't exist as we know it without it. And this semi-permeable membrane really effectively only lets in what the cell wants to be let in. So it's this living boundary that keeps out things that the cell doesn't want within it. But then it has all of these gates and these channels and these qualities that let things into the cell that the cell wants or needs. So it's like an intelligent boundary that can let in what the cell wants and needs, that can keep out what the cell doesn't want. It always keeps the cell in homeostasis with its environment. And it also contains the cell so that the contents of the cell don't just spill out everywhere. And so I like to think of my energetic boundary as being a semi-permeable membrane as well. An intelligent membrane that lets some things through, keeps some things out, and also contains my energy, so my energy isn't just spilling out everywhere. And it's intelligent and fluid and responds to the environment. Like my energetic boundaries with my kids are very different than my energetic boundaries with a stranger. So there's an intelligence and an aliveness to this semi-permeable membrane. So just take a few breaths and play with that. Maybe that metaphor works for you. Maybe it doesn't. But just see what wants to happen on the edge of your bioelectrical field, the boundary of your personal space. Breathing, letting this boundary adjust, and letting whatever wants to happen so that you feel like you're in a bubble that's contained and protected. And just noticing how this all feels to you. When you have this virtual resource here with you, you have a boundary at the edge of your personal space, an energetic boundary. And when you're filled with your life force energy, what does that feel like? What is your breath like? What is your posture like? And what are you realizing now as you play with this boundary, as you fill with this life force energy? Taking a few more breaths here and seeing if anything else wants to happen that would make this even better for you. And we're gonna bring this to a close in just a minute. But just remember that you can always come back to this. You can always reset this energetic boundary at the edge of your bioelectrical field, your aura, your personal space. You can do this meditation anytime to remind yourself what it feels like to be contained and protected. And now that your body knows this feeling, you know what the felt sense of this energetic boundary is, you can come back to it by remembering this feeling. So taking a few more breaths. Just ask your body if there's anything else it wants or needs before we bring this to a close, and just listen for any answer your body gives you. And now, whenever you're ready and in your own timing, bring some gentle movement back to your relaxed body, maybe stretching or gently wiggling. And whenever you feel ready, just let your eyes open. So I'm curious, how was that energetic boundary meditation for you? What did you notice about your bubble and about the boundary at the edge of it? And how do you feel now compared to how you felt at the beginning? I would love to hear from you, so please let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining me today. As a reminder, enrollment for Rooted and Resilient is open now for a short time, and I'd love to see you in there. If you enjoyed today's episode, it would mean so much to me if you would subscribe to the podcast and also rate and review it. You could also send this episode to a friend who you think would enjoy it. And don't forget to join me every Friday on this beautiful journey out of your head and into your more embodied and authentic self.